There are many facts about animals circulating on the internet every day, and that's because scientists are learning more and more. At any given time, thousands of ethologists biologists who study animal behavior do thousands of studies and experiments to help fill in the gaps in our knowledge of the natural world. Sometimes what they find is horrifying. With millions of species vying for a place in the sun in this ruthless world, many have developed cruel survival strategies. Some are designed to hunt, others to protect, and the meaning of others is not yet clear to scientists, but all of these are enough to make your next walk in nature more cautious. Here are 9 of the creepiest animal behaviors caught on film. Torturing your food. When it comes to cetaceans, they don't just hurt themselves. They have a habit of torturing their prey before they kill it, for fun. Orcas, for example, are known for playing with their prey, catching it and releasing it over and over again. There have also been documented cases where they grabbed their helpless prey with their jaws, often breathing air seals, and dived with it underwater, and then rose to the surface again, although they could easily drown it or just eat it. Some seem to prefer to watch hope light up and go out in the helpless little eyes. Dolphins, too, have been seen causing seemingly unnecessary harm to their prey. Scientists have repeatedly seen them flip their injured prey to each other with their tails. Sort of a grotesque marine version of badminton. Spartan eagles. Golden eagles are one of the largest species of eagles, and eagles are one of the largest birds of prey. But unlike the few larger species, which are mostly vultures and condors, eagles get most of their food from active hunting, not from droppings. Usually these are medium-sized rabbits and rodents, but prey can be almost any animal that eagles can reasonably kill, including mountain goats. They sometimes kill them by throwing them off cliffs. There are several instances in which researchers have observed golden eagles stalk mountain goats, which are much heavier than the birds themselves, with the ingenious strategy of simply knocking them off the cliff they are sitting on. Because the goats are too heavy to be lifted, the eagles develop this new strategy, which is certainly clever but also intimidating. Storm hunters. It may be more accurate to say that this behavior is cold-blooded rather than creepy, but if you are a wild deer in this situation, it makes no difference. It has been observed that tigers have used thunderstorms as camouflage for their hunting. As the dark gray clouds that mark a thunderstorm accumulate, tigers begin to hunt. The darkness of the clouds helps conceal their form as they sneak across the tall grass. The steady rolls of thunder help mask the already muffled noise coming from their paws. Cats sneak to leeward, which prevents any of their prey's senses from suspecting danger, so they can detect the predator before it attacks. 6. Poisonous armpits. Slow moose are internet favorites because of their cute and somewhat naive appearance. And some of their habits have become the subject of videos more than once. When someone tickles a lorry, the animals tend to put their paws up, leading many to speculate that they just like being tickled. In fact, lorries feel threatened by touch and prepare to use the deadly poison glands in their armpits. It's true, lorries are one of the few mammals and the only primates that produce venom, and in glands in their armpits. The venom is deadly to humans and, curiously, seems to have evolved as part of the strategy by which loris mimic cobras. When threatened, loris raise their paws, sometimes grasping their heads and hissing, perhaps mimicking venomous cobras. They step forward, licking venom from their armpits, which in turn makes their bite as deadly as that of a cobra. 5. Taste of human flesh. Herbivores also eat meat, and sometimes this can be intimidating. This is supposedly due to a lack of nutrients, so entire groups of herbivores have been seen turning into carnivores from time to time. Because of how common they are, this is more likely to happen to deer. They usually feed on small woodland creatures, but at least one case is known in which it was human flesh. At a cadaver farm in Texas, a deer was captured on a movie set, gnawing on a human rib bone. Whoever saw it must have had nightmares on more than one night. But even if it were not a human body but a small rabbit carcass, the blood-soaked stag's face has a completely demonic look. I can't even believe it could have been Bambi. 4. Stronger than steel. You may have heard the dubious claim that some spider silk is stronger than steel. Well, it's true. Although only some spiders weave webs, they all produce silk, which they use differently or not at all. So there are many different types of silk, and some of them, such as dragline silk, are incredibly strong. In terms of straight-up tensile strength, dragline silk is stronger than steel and comparable to the rest. However, in terms of extensibility, there is nothing to compare it to. Some types of silk can be stretched up to 5 times without breaking. When you combine tensile strength and extensibility, you get a figure in which silk absolutely dominates. This fiber is unrivaled among all but the most advanced, expensive and difficult to produce synthetic materials. When you consider that some spiders used to be up to 60 centimeters long, some creepy what if. 3. The power of impact. Mantis shrimp are often called alien monsters. For one thing, they have 16 photoreceptors, compared to our 3, so they can potentially see millions more colors than we can. But the scariest thing about mantis shrimp is their kicks. A shrimp can strike with its front limbs at 23 meters per second. That's about as fast as a .22 caliber bullet. Such a blow can pierce the shells of clams, crabs and most other creatures they encounter. In fact, it is the hardest punch of any animal. People unlucky enough to be within striking range will attest to its power. 2. Internal organ projectiles. There is a behavior known to biologists as autotomy, in which an animal intentionally discards part of its body in self-defense. The most famous example is lizards discarding their tails to escape predators. But sea cucumbers take this strategy to a whole new level. When threatened, some holothurians clench their body walls and shoot out their internal organs. Their anus, intestines, tentacles, muscles, parts of their airways, and even parts of their reproductive organs all fly out of their bodies, enveloping predators in a sticky mass. 1. Makeup from corpses. Common killer bugs are creepy enough. They feed on their prey by striking it with their proboscis, injecting a paralyzing agent, then proteins that dissolve it from the inside, while the victim is still alive and paralyzed, and finally by sucking out the sticky viscera. But one species of Acanthas bispitax is even worse. The creepy crawler uses the bodies of its victims as camouflage. After killing its prey, usually ants, it rubs a sticky substance on them and sticks it on its back. And he keeps doing this, body by body, until he has a giant ball of dead ants on his back. The stack of ant bodies potentially masks the killer beetle's smell with that of an ant, and also helps the insect look bigger than it really is, apparently protecting it from discouraged predators.